What does it mean to be the same as your nature? Welcome to Aquinasaday 19. I'm Max, back after a little hiatus. Today we ask Aquinas whether God is the same as his essence or nature. And he answers from Summa Theologiae, Prima Pars, question 3, article 3. And so he wrote, we proceed thus to the third article. Objection 1. It seems that God is not the same as his essence or nature, for nothing can be in itself. But the substance or nature of God, i.e. the Godhead, is said to be in God, therefore it seems that God is not the same as his essence or nature. Objection 2. Further, the effect is assimilated to its cause, for every agent produces its like. But in created things the suppositum is not identical with its nature. For a man is not the same as his humanity, therefore God is not the same as his Godhead. On the contrary, it is said of God that he is life itself, and not only that he is a living being, living thing. I am the way, the truth, and the life. John 14:6. Now the relation between Godhead and God is the same as the relation between life and a living thing. Therefore, God is his very Godhead. I answer that God is the same as his essence or nature. To understand this, it must be noted that in things composed of matter and form, the nature or essence must differ from the suppositum, because the essence or nature connotes only what is included in the definition of the species, as humanity connotes all that is included in the definition of man, for it is by this that man is man, and it is this that humanity signifies, that namely whereby man is man. Now individual matter, with all the individualizing accidents, is not included in the definition of the species. For this particular flesh, these bones, this blackness or whiteness, etc., are not included in the definition of man. Therefore, this flesh, these bones, and the accidental qualities distinguishing this particular matter are not included in humanity. And yet, they are included in the thing which is a man. Hence, the thing which is a man has something more in it than has humanity. Consequently, humanity and a man are not wholly identical, but humanity is taken to mean the formal part of a man, because the principles whereby a thing is defined are regarded as the formal constituent in regard to the individualizing matter. On the other hand, in things not composed of matter and form, in which individualization is not due to individual matter, that is to say, this matter, the very forms being individualized of themselves, it is necessary the forms themselves should be subsisting, supposita. Therefore, suppositum and nature in them are identified. Since God is not composed of matter and form, he must be his own Godhead, his own life, and whatever else is thus predicated of him. Reply to objection 1. We can speak of simple things only as though they were like composite things, from which we derive our knowledge. Therefore, in speaking of God, we must use concrete nouns to signify his substance, because with us only those things subsist which are composite, and we use abstract nouns to signify his simplicity. In saying, therefore, that Godhead or life or the like are in God, we indicate the composite way in which our intellect understands, but not that there is any composition in God. Reply to objection 2. The effects of God do not imitate him perfectly, but only as far as they are able. And the imitation here is here defective. And the imitation is here defective precisely because what is simple in one can only be represented by diverse things. Consequently, composition is accidental to them, and therefore in them suppositum is not the same as nature. So we're dealing with a strange question here, whether a thing is the same as its nature. At first, the thought might be, isn't everything the same as their nature? A dog is a dog, a cat is a cat, a tree is a tree, a rock is a rock, a man is a man, right? But not so fast. A dog is a dog, but it was once a puppy. And while that puppy is a dog in one sense, it is still trying to be a dog in another, i.e., it matures from a puppy into a full-fledged dog. And with humans, we can see this difference between the individual and their nature, between a man and humanity, even more. Because we also have to grow into adults like dogs do, but we also have to strive to be what it means to be a human being. That's not something that just happens. It's something we have to always strive for. And honestly, we fail a lot. And we fail actually maybe more often than we succeed. But even if we don't fail, no one human being can encompass all the totality of human existence. And that's one reason why we have to learn from each other, because what we learn from one person can make up for the failings of another, as one person knows all about discipline where another knows how to relax, and a lot of times the person who knows really how to relax needs to learn discipline, and the person who knows discipline needs to learn how to relax. But then we look at God, and there's something different there, because his essence is the same as his existence. They're one thing. So God encompasses perfectly and completely all that divinity is, always, forever, at all times. And he can never fail at this. He never fails to be God. You'll never find God slacking in being God. Whereas human beings can slack at being humans, and animals, usually not by their own fault, will not be animals as good as they could be. But God, that never happens. And this is pretty awesome, because that means we never have to worry about God not living up to being God. He is, and he always will be, and so he's always there. And that's something to just take, to wonder in, to be amazed by, and to take comfort in. It's something we can rest in, because it's not going to fail. It's the one thing that is never going to fail, that God is God. And I think that's sufficient for today. So please subscribe if you'd like to follow this continuing journey. And either way, until next time, peace.